Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your June 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and it means the world to me, so thank you so much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries, June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Aries, June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels, ooh, goodness. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. These two. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So, the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side, our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self, each done with a different deck, so we get the full range of the tarot and what Spirit has to say. So let's see, at our root is the King of Wands. We're coming through as a king. And then we have the Seven of Cups, the dream card, the wish card, something being revealed to us, veiled, that we are now being able to open our minds to, open ourselves to, because we're starting to see our power and our distinction, and even really truthfully and honestly understanding and embracing our worth. In our inner self, we have justice, which is a Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd, and we have the Magician. But it's also by being discerning. Justice always kind of got me. It's like, okay, is it the letter of the law? Is it exactly the way things are supposed to be? Is it the rule book kind of deal? But then you don't have a rule book when it comes to life. And if you try to be overwhelmingly fair to everyone and overwhelmingly, I do this for this person, and then I do that for that person, and everything stays fair. First of all, you burn out because you get spread so thin, but also you don't have a discernment then. So justice, for me, is the sense of discernment and understanding and comprehension on how to balance the scales of our lives and ourselves and the magic that's being called forward within us. At our heart, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is the minor arcana justice card. It's like the scales need to be balanced. And we have the Five of Pentacles, feeling like a pauper, feeling like we're out in the cold, like we'll never be able to have the prosperity, the love, the joy, the coming together that we so desperately want within our lives. And then in the public arena, we have Temperance, which is balance, and we have the Magician once again. So we have the Magician showing up in our inner selves, and now in the public arena there's something magical that we're bringing to the table. There's something powerful that gets to be a part of us, and that if we see, can be a life changer, can be a goal changer. All of a sudden things move from this place of almost helplessness within our hearts, this sense of I'll never fit in, or I'll never have the life that I want, or everything is always just going to stay complicated and overwhelming, to this place of now I have balance, now I have understanding, now I have a sense of me. And that's so important. And the repeat of the number one is realizing our worth. And that's going against emotionally. We might be feeling a little bit blue during this time. Things might be a little bit intense. Like we could be riding a really great high, and then somebody says something and it brings us back to when we were little, or it brings us back to an ex that totally just destroyed us. And we're looking at it and it's like, wow, why does that have to come up? And now there's the sense of no, like, no, I don't get to have my happiness taken away from me. I just don't. You can even be out. I was out, oh my gosh, and I was climbing, and there were these girls. They were just kind of catty, and I said something to them, and all of a sudden, it's been years since I was in school, right? But in high school and middle school, but all of a sudden I was just transported back into there. And I thought, oh no, no, this can't be. This isn't right. So it can be something as silly as that, where you're looking at things and you're like, wow, you shouldn't be able to make me feel like garbage. So just be mindful of that. And when it comes up, it can be the silliest thing, but it means a lot to us. So let's look at our chakra energy. Aries, June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show us clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Earth Mother. This is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. There's a ferocity to the Earth Mother. We tend to think of the Earth Mother, or Mother Earth, as always this caring and nurturing and loving entity. Gaia is all giving and all loving and so beautiful, yes. But Gaia is also earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes and blizzards and volcanoes. So when we embrace the divine feminine side of us, and when we're embracing our connection to the earth, we also have to embrace and convey the ferocity within us and the power within us to move forward. And it leads us to the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? June 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's ourselves. It's the King of Wands. It's being caught up in the passion and the fire of it, and the determination and the success. And that can become everything. We're going to be very drawn to people who also are very goal-oriented, which is a great thing. We want to have ambition, but we don't want ambition to be all that we have. We need to make time for laughter and joy and beauty. And instead of saying what will bring me the most revenue, or what will, increase however, it's saying, what is the passion in my life? And how can I let that shine? And how can I let that bring joy and success and bounty into my soul? Yes, paying the bills are important. That's a given. Anybody who says money isn't important either has always had money or found a really alternative lifestyle that works for them but might not work for everybody. But when we sit there and we look at our ambition and our passion and our desire to not make ourselves our own enemy by saying, well, it has to have a value to it. If it doesn't have a monetary value, if it's not working towards my goals, I'm not doing it. No, we need to have that joy come in. We need to be able to breathe our passion into the world. Why? Because it makes life a better place for us and our dreams and our desires and our hopes and everything in between. And it starts to let us see our dreams again, that we're buried under our emotions, buried under our fears. What if we bring our dreams into the world? And they're not what we expected. You know, they don't come out the way we had them planned in our heads, which is what dreams often do. Even if you have a dream, like let's say of having a family or having children, right? That's a common dream that a lot of people have. When you have that kid, oh my gosh, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. I see it with my nephew, and it's like, wow. So here, it's being able to look at what we dream of, what we desire, and saying, if I bring this into the world, if I give birth to this dream, if I help create it and cultivate it and embrace it, it won't be what I expected, but it'll be where Spirit is guiding me. And there's something beautiful to that. There's something beautiful to the chaotic earth nature of creation and understanding and producing. And so as we're embracing our sacred masculine energy, we're going to want to see more results, more results, more results. We're going to want to push. We're going to want to be a little bit more aggressive in our sense of, yes, this is right, kind of like the talk over type of thing. I have a whole sea of brothers, and you have to be kind of forceful at times when you want to get your voice heard, and your voice doesn't go quite as loud as theirs. So here, there is that sense of, how do I embrace this force within me without losing sight of the dream that I have, of what I want to create, of what I'm building forward and what I want from my life? How do I embrace this world where results matter and incorporate the dreams that I have stored away, the dreams that have been buried under the sea of emotions, because the seas are parting? And how do I bring that forward? And how does it embrace me? And it brings us to this place of justice. In our inner selves, this is a time where we have to be discerning. It isn't a time where we sit there and say, okay, I have to be just to everybody. What I give to one person, I have to give to another, I have to give to another, because it's exhausting. There is never a point where you can stop being fair, right? So here, there is this sense of, I have to be just to me. It's not being cruel, and it's not being egotistical. Those are different things. But this is a sense of, I have to balance the scale. I have to have a home-work balance. I have to have a, play balance within my life, because if we are able to play, if we are able to laugh, that means we feel safe and secure. Human beings aren't able to play and laugh when they feel super, super stressed. Okay, or it's very rare. It's like you have that burst of laughter and it comes and you're like, oh, I haven't laughed in years, or I haven't, done anything fun and exciting in such a long time. And I forgot what it felt like to feel alive, to feel this joy, to feel this expression and this sense of heart and self. And here, with balance, we start to bring that into our lives again. And it starts to balance us, because we need that. The temperance in the public arena, these two arenas very much mirror each other. We're learning how to find the balance, what is just to us and what isn't. And here, we're cultivating that balance. It's kind of like if you left your house open, you left your doors wide open, and you like posted online, I'm not going to be home, and then you came back and all your stuff was gone. If you called the authorities, they'd be like, well, what did you expect? Like, you posted online and you left all your doors open. And that's what we do sometimes when we're trying to be just to everybody but ourselves. We let everybody take our energy, we let everybody drain us, and we go, why did that happen? Because we didn't have clear boundaries. And it moves us to the magician. It moves us to calling forward the magic in our lives. Once we start to see the balance, once we start to see the harmony of ourselves, the magic comes forward. This is our passion. This is our desire. This is our insight. This is where we want to be. This is what we long for. It's like, if I can let myself embrace the magic, if I can let myself stand before the altar of my existence and call forward my blessings, realize my dreams, the world can be unstoppable. I can be unstoppable. And that's the thing. It might not be that we can be unstoppable where we get to be a CEO of a company or making millions of billions, but I do wish that upon each and every one of you, to make the millions of billions, however, the billions of millions, there we go, however you want to. But what it means is that I get to see my blessing. I get to see my passion. I get to see my power. And I know that as above, so below. As I think it, so it becomes. So I have to be very mindful of my negative thoughts, of my overwhelmedness, of the hurts and the pains and the chaos that is a part of life, and how I let that affect me. Because just as I shared in the beginning of the reading, you can be in a place where you think, oh, that's all behind me. And then you have these people come in and they act like the mean girls, or, you just feel out of sorts. And all of a sudden you're back. You're back in that place where you weren't really comfortable and you weren't really confident. And that's a part of our story. You can't have a story always be a high note, a high note, a high note. First of all, they're boring stories. And secondly, that's just not how life works. And so when we are the magician in our inner self, we get to see our passion, our knowledge, our emotional joy, and our prosperity, what's growing within us. And we get to say, I'm calling on this. I'm calling on the power of me. And yes, emotionally, we're doubting. Emotionally, there's a sense here, Aries, that it's not an easy road. We have this, I always see this as like this great overlord deeming to give people, the crumbs. Now, it can be generosity and charity and everything in between, yes. But there's not that balance. There's a sense of somebody gets to have control over what we get, how we take things in. And at our heart, it's how the seeds are growing, because the pentacles can also be seeds. How are the seeds growing? How are we nurturing the garden that is ourselves? And I like the idea of our inner selves being a garden, because a lot of components go into a garden. You have to look at the soil. You have to look at the plants that you plant. And I mean, you can go into even deeper and say, okay, well, these soils, this type of soil needs this type of plant, and these plants, if you put them next to each other, they help each other grow, and it goes on and on and on. It can become super complicated. And we are super complicated. Emotionally, we're looking at the seeds, and there's a sense of, I didn't do enough. I didn't achieve enough. I didn't get to enough. That's why we have to be mindful of ourselves, because we can make ourselves feel like garbage. And we can take away every good thing that we've done, everything that we've worked towards, and say, it just doesn't matter. But it does. The Six of Pentacles is finding that balance. It's saying, I can't give and give and give, and I can't take and take and take. There needs to be a balance here. And the Five of Pentacles is calling ourselves out of the pauper mentality, of the sense of, I don't get to. It's for everybody else, but it's not for me. We take pain forward. We just do. We have coping mechanisms that we come up with when we're very, very little, and the whole world revolves around us and we don't know a lot about it. And so we have ways that we cope when we're little. And we bring that into adulthood. And that's usually what we wind up working on, trying to free ourselves from. So with the Five of Pentacles, there is this sense of, I need balance. I need harmony. I need prosperity. I need abundance within me. And I need to call this forward in a true and loving way. The Five of Pentacles is telling us that there's a safe haven. There's warmth and there's prosperity. We have to believe that we're worthy to go and to get it. And if the place that we go isn't right, can't help us, that's okay. There are other places that can. There are other places where our hearts can feel at home, where we can feel nurtured and loved and accepted. And we have to also remember that somebody walks with us. This isn't all by ourselves. We are connected either with spirit or with people who genuinely love and care for us within our lives. They might not shine through like the people we really have to work to have them, love us, have them connect with us. Those people aren't worth our time. At our heart, there is worry about money. There is worry about success. There is worry if we're doing enough, if we're getting to the right place, if we're moving forward enough. And that's okay. There's allowed to be a lot of worry. But we can't let that overrun us. Because remember, again, as above, so below. As we think it, so it becomes. And that is true in our inner self and in our public arena. And that is going to be true for us so intrinsically for quite some time that we have to look at what we're calling in, what we love, what we desire, and what we want. And if we have this sense of the pauper's mentality, if we grew up with money trouble, if we had a partner who always yelled at us about spending money, if we ran into money trouble within our lives, that's going to be coming in. Or if we had any other sort of trouble in our lives with feeling loved, feeling connected, that's coming in. What we think about, we manifest more of. So we have to be very mindful of our mind during this time. Sitting in meditation, being connected with the earth, that's going to be a beautiful thing. It moves us to temperance. It moves us to the public arena. In the public arena, we need balance. Balance for ourselves, but balance for what we desire. And our angels bring us this balance. If we connect with divinity, if we connect with our angels, if we connect with our spirit guides, we start to see balance and joy and purity of intention coming in. And it brings us in the public arena to this place of magic. We have this magic touch. Now, here's the thing with our magic. You can tell people who are having either a magical time, you can use a different word for it. It can be like they're just on a roll. That's what we usually say. They're really going for it. They have this creative streak coming forward within them. There's a way that they handle things. There's not handle things, but there's this aura about them and the way that they see things that it's like, oh, you have that. You have that spark. Now, I have a brother who has that with science and math. He can just see things. I have another brother who has it with art and sculptures and everything like that. It comes differently to each and every one of us. So what we have to do is we have to embrace that spark, embrace that different way of looking at things. Let that magic shine forward. But what happens with that magic is because there's this brilliant connection with spirit. With it usually leads people to have highs and to have lows. There's a time where you can just become sad because you might not be having that spark, or there might have been a traumatic time in your life, like around these certain months, that let it be harder to let that spark shine forward, but you need that spark to be a part of you. So here, again, as you think it, so it becomes. Being very mindful of your emotional state, being very mindful of the balance, of the harmony that is a part of you, being very mindful of what it is that you want to create and how it is that you want to move forward and what it is that you desire. That's all going to be so important during this time. And if we lose track of that, if we let everybody else be our guide, we will live in poverty. We will live in doubt and we will live in fear. Because all of a sudden, the goals are the only thing that's the aim. We will not let our spark shine. We will not be just to ourselves. We will not breathe the fire into the world that warms the world. There's a reason why, what is it? Oh, I just had his name. There's a reason why in mythologies, the giving of fire is so important. And I do forget his name, I think his liver is eaten out by a crow every single day in Greek mythology. And if you remember, please leave it down in the comment box below, because I just had it and it flew right out of my head. But there's a reason why you're punished for it. There's a reason why fire is so important. First of all, fire is important. It cooks our food, it warms us, it keeps the bugs away in the summertime. And so life changes with fire. But also to be able to have that fire, to be able to have that spark, to be able to let that creativity shine. Aries, that's so important for you. And you're represented by the Emperor in the Major Arcana. You're represented to rule through your passion, through your determination, through your fire, through your brilliance, and to be that spark, to be that guiding spark for people. And it can become all-consuming. So to have the balance come in, to have the harmony, the temperance, the justice, balancing the scales, to be discerning, to say this is right for me and this isn't. It's not the black and white, white page, black print, here's the rules, that's what you have. No, it's this creative conglomeration of ideas and desires and what's right and what's wrong and what we understand and what we're still confused about that moves us forward. And we have to be very mindful of falling into the trap of poverty, falling into the trap of, if we're having financial difficulties, thinking this is how it's always going to be. I'm never going to be in a place where I'm financially free. I'm never going to be in a place where I can be happy and joyous. So here with the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, and I love that countdown here to 6 to 5, there is a sense of, I'm worth it. And this might be a struggle. Because remember, in movies and in books, we need that struggle. We need that to cheer for our heroes. And we're the heroes of our own stories. So here, we need to cheer for us instead of just throwing in the towel. Now, our subconscious chakra message is soul's healing. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is divinity saying, I'm healing you. I'm healing you and I'm walking with you. So things might get a little bit sensitive. Things might get a little bit too personal. That's okay. That's okay. That's me. That's me walking beside you, holding your hand, guiding you, raining this healing, beautiful, golden light upon you, filled with warmth and love. You are not alone, and you will never be alone. It leads us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Queen of Wands. So we come through soulmate connection, true love connection. It can be that during this time, seriously, Aries, you can meet somebody you fall head over tea kettle for. Or there could be somebody in your life that you're just so drawn to them. They're a soulmate, but they're not a good soulmate. We can have, I believe very firmly that we can have people who we knew in past lives who we're just drawn to. They seem to get our pain, to get us. But they're wound mates. But they're people who will wind up draining us more than they will wind up helping us. Now, it can be romantically that these people come into our lives. It can be in business. It can be in friendships that we just feel like, wow, this person understands me. This is wonderful. This is passionate. This is brilliant. And we're just going to have to be very mindful. Be very, very mindful of people who come on too strong, of this instant like, oh my goodness kind of moment, like, wow, this is such an amazing connection, because in the end, there's going to be some shaky ground. So just be mindful of that. Also, again, be mindful of ourselves during this time. Do we have to kind of think things through before we go, oh, it's a great idea, I'm just going to go for it, type of deal? At our root, our subconscious rooted message is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles for me is vampiric energy. And so here we're looking at the pentacles. We've come out of this beautiful garden to look at our prosperity, to look at what it is that we should be honoring, what it is that we should be worshiping, right? Because we've all decided that money means so much and that we should worship it. And here it's looking at things and saying, what if I turned around? What if I went back into the garden? What if I went back into that beauty? What if I started looking at things differently and judging life in experience and in connections? What would happen then? And how would the money come if I start looking at the way I guard myself, the way I treasure things, and why? Do I treasure it off of memories? Do I treasure it from beautiful connections, from beauty, from understanding? It leads us to our subconscious inner self message, which is clarity. Now, this one, no, not clarity, charity. This deck has a few, I forget how many extra major arcana, I think one or two. And one is charity. Be charitable to ourselves. I've always think that this looks like a horse, the sense of be charitable. You don't have to be running the race all the time. Sit and graze. Connect, see, understand. Take in the beauty around us. It's going to be important. Generosity is important, but being generous to ourselves, not in a, again, egotistical, it's all about me type of manner, but in the sense of I matter. Our subconscious emotional message is the Page of Wands. Being a student of our passion, being a student of what we desire, being a student of the way that our hearts open, knowing that we don't have to have all the answers, and that we do have a myriad of questions, and that's beautiful and okay. Knowing that we'll have moments of great inspiration where everything seems clear, and then we'll have moments of thinking, what the heck is going on here? How does this connect? Letting ourselves connect with our inner child is also going to be very important, because that inner child is going to bring to the table insights and ideas that we're like, oh, I never thought of it that way, or I never thought to look at it like that. Our subconscious public arena message is the Ace of Wands, which we are taking most definitely. And the Ace of Wands is our gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, of passion, of creativity, of insights, of ideas, of the torch that holds the fire, that changed the progression of humanity. Our passion changes the progression of our humanity. How do we let it shine within us? And how do we embrace it? All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we connect with Spirit and as we call in the magic into our lives. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.